Hey there, welcome to healthreconnected.com, the future of healthcare. So, on this website, what you're going to find out is that we've decoded how human consciousness is connected to the space-time continuum. Why should you care? This is why. Because turns out how we think and how we act actually has consequences. So if we think and act in a selfish way or in a way that is going to harm the people in our lives or the societies that we share or the environment that we share, there are consequences to our body. We age faster, we'll get specific kinds of disease, and it actually interacts with us through our experiences as well. So the more negative we are, the more selfish we are, the more difficult and stressful our days and our experiences will unfold. Now, this first button on the home page, Sentient Space-Time Fractal Construct Decoded, you click on this right here and it'll take you to a document that fully discloses all of the fractal geometry that makes our sentient space-time existence possible. Now, I went out of my way to try to keep this as simplified. There were a ton of diagrams. I talk about this in layperson terms as much as I can. Is it a little technical? Yeah, it's technical. But if you read this, I guarantee you're going to get something out of this. And at the very least, you're going to want to scroll to the bottom to immediate conclusions. And it states how important this information is and what we can do with this information to instantly start making things better for all of us. Now, you're probably going to feel a little overwhelmed and go, I'm not a mathematician. This isn't for me. No big deal. Because at the bottom of this page, it's going to suck you into step one. And at the top of step one, I've created an interactive video that explains this and walks you through it. And I do what I'm doing here, which is I use a little video tour to show you how this geometry works, show you how it applies to you, because we really need you to grasp this concept of what this is, what we exist within, because understanding this is going to allow you to take advantage of that understanding and instantly start feeling better and making sure that your future is better for you and all the people that you interact with. All right, so once you get that basic idea, it's going to just keep pulling you into the next step. And then you're going to go to step two. You're going to learn how to read the space-time clock. Step three, learn how space-time influences choice. Step four, learn how we can use this technology to predict the future. Okay. Now, there are 8 steps in total, and we're going to get to those in a minute, but I want to finish talking about what's here on the home page first. Okay. So the other really important buttons here on the home page is this purple one right here. So this has to do with how we age and how we suffer. It's called the Age-O page. And what this is it's going to allow you to confirm that your selfish choices are what's causing you to hurt. It's what's causing all your things to go wrong. If you don't like how life is right now, it's just a change away from getting better. And what you're going to have to change is you're going to have to change some of your choices and some of your routines. Now, we've got multiple technologies embedded on this. We've got a technology. So, for example, if you're having a headache that's happening right now, or you're having low back pain that's going on right now, there's a tool that will show live feed what parts of the body are connected to the cycles. And if you're out of balance with those cycles, then it's going to tell you where you're going to hurt. What does it mean to be out of balance with a cycle? So space and time is nothing but a bunch of cycles. In fact, that's all our life is just these cycles that repeat again and again. Think about it. Every year, we've got the spring season, the summer season, the fall season, the winter season, and then it does it again. The space-time technology we have is organizing all of the cycles, big and small, that are happening at every single level. And these cycles are all about relationships. So it's testing us to see how we do in first-person relationship, all the people that we interact with on a day-to-day basis. It's testing how we do in third-person relationship. These are our societal views at the large and small levels. How are we engaging our society? Are we doing it in a productive and a mutually beneficial manner? And then it's also testing to see how we're engaging and what kind of relationship we have with our environment. Okay. And we want to have balanced relationships in all three of these areas. And if we don't, well, it's going to tell you where you're going to hurt. Okay. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to start to refine your choices. But before you can refine your choices, you have to confirm what's causing you to not have pleasant experiences. And that's what this Age-O page is all about. Now, there's another technology embedded on here as well that will allow you to enter your birth time. And it will show you 128 years of aging patterns that are connected to your specific birth time. Okay. This is super powerful. I mean, if you're someone who's 40 years old and you pop in your birth time, you're going to be able to do a walk down memory lane and look at every single year you struggled. This will predict the years that you had lots of stress, the years that you had an injury, the years that you were hospitalized, the years that you experienced tragedy, the years that you had terrible relationship breakups. And you're going to go, how is this possible? Because we're in a cyclical construct that's trying to teach us. And we're actually designed to make mistakes. So what we're going to do is we're going to confirm that we're human. We're designed to make these mistakes, and it's an eye-opening experience. You're going to realize all of the things that you could have changed in the past, and what this is going to do is it's really going to give you that firsthand experience. You see, telling somebody that we've broken space-time and that we understand the mathematics that connect our consciousness to the space-time continuum, what does that mean? It doesn't mean much of anything. But when you can show somebody when they're going to suffer, or if you can confirm why they suffered in the past, see, that's the other cool thing. This shows 128 years of aging. So if you're 40 years old and you plan on being here for another 40, you can look 40 years ahead and see every stressful year before it unfolds, know what you're supposed to learn before that year comes, and what you can do is you can reduce your stress. That's how cool that is. Now, we're not navigating to this page in this tour that we're doing because when you navigate to this page, we want you to know some of the other stuff first. This tour is about where to start, what to do, and kind of just to get the feel for the website. You're going to want to know a little bit more about the space-time continuum before you want to do this confirmation page, okay? And there's going to be a video that's going to explain how to use all the technology on that page. So when you get there, you're going to watch a video just like you did to see this tour. All right, so once you've confirmed that selfish past choice is what's caused you to suffer and not had very fun experiences, you're going to want to figure out how to know what to do in the future to make things better. That's what this blue button's about. So this is about showing what patterns are coming. So we show a live feed of all of the cycles that are currently in control, as well as we do predictions 8 days in advance. And really, we've got everything posted for the entire year of 2025 already. You can see all the electromagnetics, every cycle that's coming. You can see what parts of the body are going to be tested. This is wild stuff here, okay? So very empowering, and this is designed to help you start to transition out of selfish choice and start to transition into more mutually beneficial whole-based choice. When you do that, you're going to feel better. Your experiences are going to go better. Same thing. When you navigate to this page, there is going to be a video that's going to describe how to use all the different resources on it. This is going to be something you're going to want to do after you've gotten through some of the core information here. Okay? Sounds great. Now, the other thing we've got on the home page is we've got an embedded live feed. So let's play this so you see what this is. So this is actually the technology we've created, and this is organizing the 12 cycles that are currently in control. The largest cycles in control up here, the smallest cycles that are in control are down here. There are 12 total. There are 6 that are governing our third person perspectives. There are 6 that are governing our first person perspectives. Now, I'm sure you're saying to yourself, what's this guy talking about? This looks very complicated. I'm never going to be able, what is this thing? Don't you sweat it. That's what the 8-step process is all about. That's enough about that. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the HRT tool tab. Okay. So this is the HRT tool. So this is the space-time clock we were just looking at, but this is actually an interactive one. And this clock is super cool because what it allows you to do is you can pop in your birth time. So let me show you here. 225, 1979, that's my birthday. My time of birth is 2:46 p.m. And the time zone that I'm born in is -5. Okay. It wasn't daylight standard time at the time I'm born. So that's what we got to change here. All right. So once we do that, what's going to happen is this is going to calculate, and this is the time I'm doing this. So this is Wednesday, 4:30, 2025. It's 11:45 p.m. and it's Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Okay. And now I'm going to scroll down here so you can see this thing. Those are my circadian rhythms. So what does that mean? This is how my rhythms are connected to the space-time continuum. Now, I happen to be doing this, and you can see some pretty cool stuff here. You see how all of these blue ones, but specifically this purple line and this purple line, I'm going to be going into a rest and restore stage here. This is going to be a great night for me to eat some nutritious food and get some good deep sleep tonight. That's how cool this is. You got to understand our body is nothing but a bunch of time cycles. And these time cycles are telling us when we're hungry, when we need to sleep, when we want to be awake, when we're going to be active. You can see all these little squiggly blue up and downs. We explain how all this works. I just wanted to give you a little taste here of what we put together because if you have your birth information, you can literally see the internal rhythms that are going on in your body. That's how cool this is. Now, on the home page, that's step one, two, three, four. By the time you get to step five, six, and seven, we're teaching you how to use this technology, and we have an embedded version for you to play around with so you can kind of get used to it. In addition, step eight, so when you finish step seven, it allows you to register. That's what step eight is. And you can register and download, and we give you a free version of this that you can put on your computer. And it's way, way more user friendly than this is. This has limited function. It allows us to show you what your rhythms are. The other one has many, many, many additional functions. We talk all about that in the step-by-step process. So the HRT tool page, super cool. You're going to want to check this out, but you're going to want to go through those step-by-step process or this isn't going to mean anything to you. Okay. All right. So let's keep moving here. We're going to move to the about page now. All right. So the about page is about me. Obviously, Health Reconnected was an idea that was put in my mind, and I've been developing this idea here for the last, well, since the end of 2012. Okay. This has been in motion. And there's some cool background information on who I am, what I'm about. There's a really cool simplified video I put together here that shows how the two-dimensional geometry, the six-pointed star and the eight-pointed star come together to make it possible for human consciousness to learn within this space-time construct. So definitely check this out for my religious folk out there. You're going to want to check out this video too. So the Abrahamic religions, Abraham and Jesus, Old Testament and New Testament are actually describing the negative and the positive feedback loops that come together to create this fractal mathematics, that this never-ending pattern that goes on and on. Okay, so that talks a little bit about that in there, but mostly this is to help you understand what this is, and it just kind of gives you a brief overview. It's a cool video. I think you're going to enjoy it. All right, so on the about page, we also have the website tour. That's what we're doing right now. We're doing the website tour, and there's two versions. Uh, the computer version is a little bit longer and a little bit more detailed because you have access to more stuff. The mobile version, there's a lot of things you can do off of your mobile device on this site. About 95% of the site works on mobile devices, but some of the embedded technology is really only going to work well on computers or on tablets, all right? All right, so then obviously here's a little personal thing about me, the inspiration behind Health Reconnected, and then there's a special thanks page here. Okay. There were some individuals that helped me develop it, all of the technology. A friend in my neighborhood, the guy's name is Jeremy, great friend of mine. He has invested copious amounts of time to make this happen from the technological side, and I couldn't be more grateful. I mean, think about this. We've created technology that allows you to optimize what's going to happen in the future. You can, slow aging, heal disease. Pretty cool stuff. Couldn't have done it without him. Thank you, buddy. All right, so let's keep moving here. We're going to go to the resources page. Now, this is a page you're going to want to probably check out, like one of the first pages you take a look at. All right. And the optimal health instruction manual is very important. Think about this. We've got this body and no one's written a manual on it yet. We did. This manual is going to help you understand how your thought is connected to what you feel, okay? And it's going to help you transition your thought. It's so important to understand this. We're designed to be selfish. That's what human nature is. We're designed to be selfish. There's a negative feedback loop that is constantly trying to convince us to run away from our problems or to stand up and create conflict and create more stress. And what this does is it helps you understand how to break free of that negative cycle of thinking. And you want to transform your thought from this like self-based thought to whole-based thought, which is mutually beneficial. And to do that, you have to be authentic. You have to want to know about people. You have to be able to share about who you are with people, full disclosure. And it's 7 chapters, okay? It's not terribly long. It's 29 pages. You can download the whole thing here. Strongly, strongly recommend because as powerful as the technology is, the technology is only going to tell you where you hurt, why you hurt, and when you're going to hurt again. Okay. It's not going to help you make the mental transformation. And this really lays out what you have to do as an individual but it also kind of puts together the big picture, like what has to happen in society? What has to change? Like things are going to have to be rebooted here. You know what I mean? We're going to have to kind of tear down the way that we've been doing things and then build it back up in a way that is actually going to allow us to execute this thought and develop this new way of thinking because the current ways that we've designed our societies, they're all selfish and self-based. And that is actually going to have to change. And if it doesn't, what's going to happen is we're just going to suffer more and more and more until we finally decide that we're going to change. And look around right now. I mean, climate is getting out of control. The social tension is getting out of control. This is like the moment where we need to transition, and this optimal health instruction manual is going to help you prepare for that transition. Okay, so these last 5 links down here, these have to do with this was like the hypothesis I had when I started to see what this pattern was. And then I had some visions and some revelations about how the 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional geometry of space-time come together. So I got some outside help here, okay? And then down here, this is pretty technical stuff. So decoding the Giza Pyramid Complex, decoding the Temple of Kukulkan, technical, but still, I wrote this in a way where I wanted everyone to get something out of it. So if you take the time to check these resources out, you're gonna, you're definitely gonna be interested in them. They're probably gonna be written over most people's heads, but that doesn't mean you won't enjoy some of it. See what you think. And then the how macrolinear time is organized for my religious people out there, my Abrahamic religions like Old Testament stuff and then New Testament stuff of Christianity. They are describing, the prophets that write this are describing fractal mathematics. Fractal mathematics weren't discovered and really utilized technologically until the 1970s, okay? And these guys were way ahead of their time. And when you see how they wrote these stories that are repeated through the Abrahamic religions, they knew exactly what this was. They were describing space-time mathematics and what happens if you don't act morally within them. You see, they're trying to talk like religion is talking about moral thought. And that's what this is. Instead of thinking as moral thought, think of it as unselfish thought. Think of it as whole-based, mutually beneficial thought. So, as much as we want to believe that religion was this concept that didn't have any basis, it's actually founded in geometric laws, and that's what we're sharing here. This is like the geometric law of what happens if you're selfish. If you're unselfish, you're rewarded. If you're selfish, you're punished. That's just how that works. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to go to here is the contact page. All right. So, contact page, obviously, we want you to spread this message. We want you to register with Health Reconnected. The more people we get, the better. We need partnerships here, okay? We're going to need corporate partnerships. We're going to need to develop this technology farther. We're going to need government partnerships. This is something that we don't just keep within one country. We spread this everywhere because this helps us all. We all share this planet. We all need to share this mathematical understanding. So I can't stress how important it is. If you've got resources or if you've got ways to help us advance this, super important. When you navigate this website, you will be impressed with what a couple people have put together here. But this is like the Fred Flintstone version. I joke about this. We're going to the George Jetson version here, but we can't do that until we unite, until we come together and we start working this together. All right, so that's a contact page. Definitely register if you can help us. We need it as soon as possible. All right, let's go to the blog. So this is a video library. And after you've downloaded the downloadable technology and you're starting to load it in and you're getting all your users put in there and you're starting to figure out how to use this, you're going to want to come here. And this is going to start to show you how to do basic navigation with our technology and then also advanced navigation. So in basic navigation, I was giving you an example of how you could see my rhythms were going down into that green zone, and that's a rest zone. And that's what we want to show you. We want to show you how to harness like the rest zone of your rhythm. We also want to show you how to improve or maximize your sleep or know when you're going to have a more active day or know when you're going to have a more sluggish day. So just being able to read your rhythms and then harnessing the power of those rhythms. At the advanced navigation, everybody knows that we sometimes have days where we're a little off or we're a little agitated. You're going to be able to fast forward through your rhythms, see when you're going to be agitated before it happens, and you're going to be able to prepare for that so that you can eliminate the stress that comes when we're agitated. That's what this is all about. It's about empowerment and using this technology. Okay. All right. So that's about it for the blog here. Last thing we're going to talk about is this blog post. Okay. So when I set this website up, I wanted to take the time to give people the ability to see what this is, and it's okay that it's going to be difficult here in the beginning. So this document is about how peace and optimal health is coming, but it can't happen until we accept it. And to accept it, we really have to let go of all of these selfish, ways that we've been interacting with each other. And that's got to go away. And when it does, it's going to feel a little empty here for a while because a lot of change has to happen. If this change doesn't happen, then things are going to continue to escalate. The climate's going to get worse. The societies are going to start to fall apart. And that doesn't have to happen. In fact, right now, we're at maximal suffering. We're at like the point of maximal negativity. So what happens after the point of maximal negativity is we shift directions and we go positive. There's going to be a polar shift here. And this polar shift can't happen until we accept this math. And this is going to be tough because think about it. We've got people that are still here that have been doing this for 70, 80 years. We've got people that have been doing this for 20, 30 years and they like their lives or they think they're good. And I promise you, it can get a lot better when we make this theological shift in our mind, when we go positive, when we start to interact and work in a mutually beneficial way, 83% improvement is possible. And oh my gosh, do we need improvement right now? Every single person on this earth is going to want to invest in this. And obviously, this document also talks about that in this mathematical construct, there is a negative and a positive feedback loop. And I want you to think of these as the concept of heaven and hell. If you make this mental transformation, you go into a positive feedback loop after you die. If you don't make this positive transformation, you stay in the negative feedback loop that we're currently in, and that's how this works. So this document kind of explains what that is. It also explains that, hey, not everyone's going to do this, or maybe some people are going to say, I can't do this. Because others don't doesn't mean that you can't. You just have to try. You just have to make the conversion in thought, and you have to continue to make that conversion, and things will get better. And eventually, this is going to work itself out. So it's going to be a little trying here in the beginning, and that's what this page is all about. I'm trying to like help you understand it's okay to be upset, but we definitely, definitely need to spread this message and start to work through this and digest this so we can make things better as quickly as possible. Okay, so that's the tour of the website, and we look forward to you coming here. And when you get here again, you're going to want to really start on this resources page. You're going to want to check out this optimal health instruction manual, and then I would come back here and then I'd start making my way through the steps. And as soon as you get through the steps and you have a general overview, you're going to want to do the confirm how this has been affecting you. And you're going to want to start to understand how to look at that forecast page. And then as you get better and better at this, you're going to want Health Reconnected to be like your homepage on your browser. And you're going to want to open this up a lot and see what's going on and when it and what's happening here. Okay. All right, that's good for now, and we look forward to showing you how this works. Thanks for checking out this tool.